I'll tell you a little story. When I was in school, my teacher called my attention and she said, Socorro, that's my real name, my full name, legally. I'm going to give you an F for conduct. Little did she know that one day all that I would ever handle. So moral of the story, don't listen to your teachers. Follow your heart. Follow your inclinations and your passion. I was quite defiant in school because I thought I knew more than the teacher. And I only appreciated a teacher that appreciated hearing me asking all those limitless questions. Because I was naturally curious about life, not about facts. Why did I get into wellness? Back to a little story. Many years ago, around 15 years ago, I used to be in the gym every day, about 2 hours every day. That was my happiness. My greatest joy was to be in the gym for 2 hours every day. Now, there was a group of women, about 3 or 4, who would be in my aerobics class. We'd go through the exercise together, and then at the end of the exercise class, they'll come up to me with regularity, okay? So it was a habit for them. Miss Cory, what should we eat after our aerobics class? So I said, okay, well, what is your intention? Our goal is to lose weight and to get sexy. All right? So will you follow the basic rules? Yes, we will. Go low fat, low sugar, low carbs, take lots of water. Can you do that? Because you're already exercising. Yes, we can do it. But after 3 months, I didn't notice any changes in their shapes. So when they came back to me after class again, they said, Miss Cory, what should we eat? Ladies, you've been asking me the same question for 3 months. Now, I don't want to get involved in your lives and your daily habits, but I sound like a broken record. I keep repeating myself. Miss Cory, you're invited to join us after class so you can eat with us. All right, I might just show up one day, and one day I just did. I went up to them unannounced, and I saw on their table big plate of pancit. Right? Crispy pata. You have to translate for those that don't know what crispy pata is. Lechon kawali. Kare-kare. Right? Leche flan. Halo-halo. Everything was on the table. So I went up to them and I said, ladies, what are you eating? Miss Cory, didn't you tell us? Low fat? Yes. So look what we did with the lechon. Kawali. We removed the fat. We only ate the skin. So, moral of the story, people will take you literally, but will never quite understand what you're trying to say. And so I said, how can I help these women and countless women all over the country who are asking me the same questions? Because I've been in television for close to 18 years now. At that time, I was in television for about 5-6 years. So I said, maybe I'll write a book. And I didn't bring my books, because today is Big's Day. And my book was entitled Cory Quirino's Celebrity Workout. That was the first video ever made in the Philippines. I don't even have a copy of it because it was sold out. Anyway, then I wrote the book Forever Young, A Guide to Fitness. That was also sold out, so it became a national bestseller to the point that Mrs. Ramos, the owner of National Bookstore, which is the biggest bookstore chain in the country, asked to meet with me. And she said, Miss Cory, tell me, why is it that your book on fitness and health outdid and outsold our cookbooks? I said, it's very simple. People want to live longer, and still feel good about themselves and look good. It's very basic. And no one wants to get sick. No one actually wants to die. Then she laughed and she said, that's true. This is a basic human need, a basic human pursuit. Could you please write more wellness books for National Bookstore? And I did. So it became a series. My last book was Supermind, Superbody. The truth was, National Bookstore didn't want the title, the original title that I suggested, Supermind, Sexy Body. I much preferred Sexy Body. But what can I do? They were my publishers. All right, that's just an intro.
Fire them.
Sorry? It's only an intro. And that's how I got into wellness. Over the years, I realized, interviewing countless doctors, doctors of medicine, as well as doctors in alternative and complementary medicine, that really the key to happiness is good health. The key to happiness is really to have balance in your body, within your body. Always have neglected, or maybe have not given much importance to, and that is our brain. Dr. Gary Zukav in his book, and also Deepak Chopra in his book, Ageless Body, Timeless Mind, and Dr. Gary Zukav's book, The Art of the Heart of the Soul. He said, they both said one basic truth. Our bodies are so connected to our minds and our spirits and our hearts that we are walking around as a totality, a holistic oneness of who we really are. And the only way that we can have transformation or empowerment in our lives is to embrace that truth. Body, mind, and spirit. When being asked me to speak here about happiness, I really thought hard about happiness and how some people have a great capacity to overcome tragedy and pain and challenges in life, while others do not have the same coping capacity. Which brings us to the one challenge in our lives: how to manage stress. All of us were built with perfect machines inside of us. Our bodies were created in perfection. But over time, we ended up abusing it. Or maybe due to a lack of information, we are unable to understand how our body works, how our brain will work, and how we can relate the connection of food to our mood, the connection of our lifestyle to our emotional well-being, the ability to address stress so that we are able to manage the happiness in our life. It all boils down to you. It's not the problem of your husband, your wife, your doctor, the barangay captain, the president of the Philippines. If you are unhappy, the important thing is for you to take charge of your life. Accept responsibility for all your actions and reactions to every situation in your life. 10 years ago, the definition of stress was a situation that caused you aggravation. It is an outside force that is entering your life and threatening who you are, threatening your well-being. This was the old definition of stress. Today's definition of stress is liberating and empowering. It is our reaction to the situation. It's no longer an external force or an external threat. It is our internal capacity to handle that situation or face it depending on our decision. We decide who, what, and how any stressful situation will affect us. And I always tell women, and my favorite audience is women. And when I'm invited to speak before, let's say, the biggest crowd I ever addressed was El Shaddai a long time ago. El Shaddai, at the time there were 500,000 people there.
Oh my Lord.
And the other group that I had fun doing a little talk with, empowerment talk for, was the Kababaihan ng Taguig. I mean, this the women's group of Taguig, which is a city here, for your information. So they were about 3,000 women. And I had fun with them because I told them, I tried to explain to them in very simple terms, because this is already masang masa. I could not speak to them in a very sophisticated way, so I had to explain in very simple terms. So I said, ladies, when you wake up in the morning and you see the face of your husband, and he's frowning, just repeat after me, say, I have a choice. And of course they will say, I have a choice. All right, you have actually two options. What are my options, they ask. The first is to look at your husband and say, honey, very soon I'm going to divorce you.
That's the first choice.
That's one of the choices. And the other choice is, honey, I love you. So,
The second.
those two choices, right? Those options that are open to you depends on your decision on how you're going to handle the stress in your life. Are you ready to divorce our husbands?
Let's kill them.
We just have to change ourselves.
Let's kill him.
So you see, and when I make them laugh, then I am able to achieve my true wellness goal, to stimulate this brain to release the happy hormones. So happiness really is about your brain chemistry. You know that your brain, so where? People are asking, where exactly is the brain? Right here, right? But where exactly is the mind? They're still debating that issue.
Everywhere.
Where is the mind? Is it here? Is it here? And where is the heart? You have a physical heart and you have an emotional and spiritual heart. Where is it? Is it really in your physical heart? The truth is, it's everywhere. Body, mind, spirit, in every cell of your body. How many cells do we have? They're still counting. Is it 200 trillion or is it 300 trillion cells? Back to Deepak Chopra and Gary Zukav. Oh, you're so low back.
All emotion.
Lunch. All emotion
All emotion
is physical.
is physical.
Think about it. How can something unseen, something intangible, something you cannot touch, how can that emotion become physical? I'll explain. When you wake up in the morning, can you say this? I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling good.
Don't forget, you said that.
And I also look good.
Oh, very good. You passed the test. Okay. The universal law is this. If you are feeling good, you are looking good.
Yes. Yes.
That is a universal law, universal truth. And if you don't believe it, I'm sorry, you did not listen. Okay, you woke up this morning, you're feeling good, correct?
Yes.
Then you went to the office or you bumped into a friend. Let's say the office. You went to the office. And your office mate says, oh, hi. Oh, you don't look so good. In Filipino, Mare, mukhang may sakit ka. Or, please translate. Please translate.
You look sick.
Mare, mukhang may sakit ka.
You look sick.
Hey, you look sick. Hi, how are you? Oh, you look sick. How is that possible? You told yourself you were feeling good. If you feel good, you look good. Correct?
Yes.
Again, here we go. Deepak Chopra, Gary Zukav, every neuroscientist in the world will say that to you. This is neuroscientific truth. This is not Cory Quirino's truth. This is the science of your brain. Oh, what does neuroscientific truth say? It's very simple. If you are thinking it, You are willing it.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Correct.
So, neuroscientific truth. Every cell in the body responds to a command. And that command center, or all the commands come from a command center. Where is that command center?
The brain.
Your brain. Your brain talks to itself. Do you know that? It talks to itself through neurotransmitters. These are just nerves. They're just rapid fire neurons talking to each other. What are they saying? Do you know that you can listen to the way your brain is thinking? You can interrupt what your brain is saying to every single cell in the body. But you said to yourself, I'm feeling good, therefore I'm looking good. How can my office mate tell me I'm not looking good? I look sick. Again, back to your choices. You have a choice. So what are you going to do? You run to the bathroom, look at yourself in the mirror. Again, you have a choice. Oh, what are those options? Oh, my office mate told me I'm sick. I think I'm getting sick. The minute you overrode your original programming, your brain has no choice. Can you say that? No choice.
No choice.
But to accept
I will not allow it.
your command. But you declared it as truth. And when you declare it as truth, it will become a reality. Neuroscientific truth. How liberating is that? So you said, assuming your negative programming was the one that overrode the positive programming, your brain is going to send signals to the 200 trillion cells in your body. The cells of your heart, your lungs, your liver, the pancreas, the spleen, the blood, the nerves, the bones. They're all talking to each other, rapid fire conversation. We are sick. Yay! Why? The brain does not know the difference between positive and negative. It can only accept your command because you are the boss. The buck stops here. You are in charge. So, you will get sick because you commanded it. Can a computer run without programming?
No.
No. In the same manner, our bodies will never run without good programming. You talk about happiness, you have to program yourself for happiness. Remember, your brain has no capacity to decide for you. You decide. So when you say you're sick, you sent the command. So who's responsible for your illness or your unhappiness, your depression, your anxiety, your pain, your frustration, your irritation, your anger? Who is responsible for that? You. Not anyone else. You have to accept responsibility. All emotion becomes physical. Correct? Neuroscientific truth again. How can something so unseen, so invisible to me, is so graphic in English? I have butterflies in my stomach. Can butterflies live in the stomach? No. But why is there a butterfly effect in our stomach? Because you're nervous. What causes the nerves? Acidity? What causes the acidity? Your anxiety, your fears. You caused that. Your brain released that. It released the adrenaline. You couldn't handle the adrenaline or the cortisol released by your brain because you were on flight mode, not fight. Correct? But if you fight, you still need the same adrenaline and cortisol to just really take charge. The choice in the end is yours. How much time do I have? Because I'm getting just one time.
Yeah.
10 more minutes.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Okay, 15.
Okay,
15?
15.
What? They're telling me 10? Oh, there's a discount over there. Okay, 10. Oh, gosh, how hard. Ooh.
Neuro brain.
Here we go. Okay, I'll compress it. So here we go. It's a story of my friend. True story. She calls me one day. Sis, I'm in the emergency room of Makati Med. Help me. You cannot possibly be in the emergency room. You're the healthiest person I know. She's on 100% raw food, vegan diet.
Oh my God.
She exercises. She's stricter than I am. So I said, how is it possible? Have you continued your diet? Yes. Drink your water? Yes. Did you exercise today? Yes. All right. Tell me what happened last night.
She had sex.
My boyfriend and I broke up. You know what I told her? Repeat after me. I say it first in Filipino, okay? But somebody has to translate. Maraming isda sa dagat.
There's a lot of fish in the ocean.
There's a lot of fish in the ocean. So dump your fish, I said. And she started laughing. Oh, I succeeded. I made her laugh.
Yeah.
So what? Her blood pressure went down. She's calm again. So I said, from now on, don't call me. You have to be responsible for yourself. Physically, you've done it, but you've not done the inner work. You've got to do the inner work. Correct?
Correct.
Correct.
So there. Happiness. I reduce it to 5 Ds. Do you want to be delighted?
Yes.
The 5 Ds. Let's talk about the final D. The final D is delight. To be delighted with yourself. Raise the other 4 Ds before it because it's the journey of the D. The letter D. What is it? The first D is your desire. It is something your heart wants to happen for yourself. My heart wants it. I desire it. My heart is committed. Correct?
Correct.
This is the heart. This is the realm of the heart. You desire. Then comes the mind. Then comes determination. When the mind and the heart are married, this is an unbeatable duo of the heart and the mind, the desire and your determination. Your mind says, I will do, or I will. Your heart says, I want. Your mind says, I will. What comes after that is a natural marriage of the two, which is drive. You have the drive if you are motivated, mind and heart. When you have the drive, the discipline will follow. When you have the discipline, you will look at yourself in the mirror and say, hello, gorgeous. You'll be delighted with yourself. Oh, was that 10 minutes? Okay, stress. Let's do an unstressing exercise because I still have a lot to share with you, but suffice it to say that the relationship of your body to your mind, your heart, and your spirit, this is an unbreakable bond. You cannot possibly achieve happiness without harmony internally, so that externally it will show. You will become a radiant example of the balance and the harmony within yourself. Now, stress. Let's release our stress, shall we? I always end my talk with a little unstressing exercise. Everyone stand up. Your 2 feet, 1 foot apart. Your 2 hands on your waistline.